Hi, I'm Dalton Ward from Brunet Demolition, a collaboration between New Zealand-based Ward Demolition and Brunet Enterprise. In December 2024, there was a magnitude 7.3 earthquake which struck Port Vila. The earthquake caused extensive damage and pretty much shut down the whole centre city of the island. Time was crucial, so we mobilised immediately, adapting the resources readily available, meaning the first building we started with, which was the French, New Zealand and USA Embassy. We only had a 50-ton digger with a rock bucket and a 20-ton digger that we had a breaker and a rock bucket. We then created a prodder, or a big long stick on the end of the digger, hollowed out the inside of a breaker and put an I-beam through it, gave another 3-4 metres reach. This was crucial on the embassy building as it was close to a neighbouring building and it was out of reach of our current machines that we had available. We managed to find a grapple lying in the jungle, which was an absolute momentous find for us, even though the locals didn't understand or know what the grapple was, but we were very excited about finding it. Chantilly's hotel was demolished in a day and the site was completely clear within 2 weeks. We made do with the machines we had available for the first few projects, including Chantilly's and Olympic. Olympic took 2.5 weeks to complete. That was a city blocks consisting of 5 buildings. We'd barged 350 tonne of equipment from New Zealand over to Port Vila, which enabled us to pretty much move a lot more quicker and approach some of the higher risk buildings such as Lowland House. Lowland House was a 5-story building with just a very high lift shaft on it. It was extremely compromised on the bottom floor. We had to mobilise a high reach and a crane curtain which we made on the island and pretty much just chew it down as it wobbled away.
Lowland is the most complex building to demolish among all of the buildings that have to be demolished. We are preparing some side propping to avoid collapsing of the structure onto other buildings, and using the long reach will make the demolition safer. The government have set the goal to reopen the city on the 15th of April, and to meet that target we have put in place a large fleet of demolition equipment and specialized operator to make sure that it will happen.
Lowland House took a week to demolish and another 2 weeks to clean up. The National Bank was completed within 4 weeks. It had large foundations. We ended up having to salvage quite a lot of safes and materials for the bank out of the National Bank. We've completed 15 structures within 5 months, with 5 more projects to go awaiting approval. Some of the key to the speed on the island was having the 60-ton payload GNAFs. They're an 8-wheel truck that has a rear wheel steer, and they sort of navigate everywhere you can get a sort of an 8-wheeler truck, but they're twice the size. These were a prototype out of China that never really made it into production. They ended up sort of on the island through Pierre. One of these trucks is equivalent to 3 trucks in New Zealand. Time was of great importance to get the local economy moving again. As a company, this is some of the most rapid demolition we have ever seen in our career.